So in my last video, we talked about 457 plans and whether or not they were good or bad. And I immediately started getting some questions about, can I roll a 457 over? So we're going to talk about that next. Firefighter Financial Toolbox. 457 plans. We found that those are governmental plans that state and local government employees are often offered in association with their pensions. And we learned that there's some peculiarities with 457s. And once we talked about that, I immediately got some questions about rolling them over. Can you roll over a 457 plan? And should you roll over a 457 plan? These are the questions. First of all, let's look at why we would roll it over. So let's take Bill. Bill's a police officer with a small municipal police department. He gets a better job at a bigger police department and he has a 457. So he takes the 457 from the first job and he rolls it over to a new 457 with his new employer. That's easy. That's a piece of cake. But let's say that we have Joe, who is a city worker and he works for the city public works, works in the roads department. And he also has a 457 plan, but he takes a job with a private employer who offers a 401k. Can he roll the 457 over to the 401k? The IRS says he can, but it's dependent on the 401k plan that he's rolling into. The plan can have rules that allow it or that do not allow it. So it's dependent on the plan he's going into. Same thing with a 403b. For example, a teacher who may have a 403b and a 457, if they went to a new school district where they continued to teach that did not have a 457 plan, they could roll it over into a new 403b plan at the new employer if the plan allows it. So let's talk about if we separated from our service. Remember, we talked about the beauty of a 457 plan is it doesn't fall under the rules of the 59.5 rule. A normal IRA, you have to be 59.5 to take the money out. Otherwise, you get charged a 10% penalty. 457 plans do not have that penalty. So part of the beauty of it is, for example, if you're a firefighter and you can retire at 55, you can draw that money out before 59.5. We talked about the fact that a lot of 457 plans have high fees. And those fees continue even if you're not employed. So let's say you retired from your job and you've started taking payments from the 457 to live on. Remember, the fees that you have, the expense ratios for the fees, any administrative costs that were in that plan, as well as if you had any service fees or wrap fees for a person who worked with you, those fees would still be eating into the amount that you have. Now, the obvious thing is roll it over to an IRA, right? Because IRAs give you more investment choices, and as a rule, they allow you to invest with lower fees. So, is it worth rolling the 457 into an IRA, be it a traditional IRA, rollover IRA? Depends on what you need. If you're 59.5 already, you don't have any problem. But if you're 55, let's say, and you roll it over to an IRA, you've got 4.5 years before you can touch that money. Otherwise, you're going to pay a 10% penalty on any money that you take out. And nobody wants to do that. So what about a partial rollover? Let's say, for example, that I have $500,000 in my 457 when I retire. And I retire at 55. So I've got 4.5 years before I could take that money out of an IRA without a penalty. But I can take it from my 457 today with no penalty. What if I took and rolled, if I decided I needed, let's say, $20,000 from my 457 to live on for those 5 years? I could take 400,000 of it, roll it over into an IRA, get those lower fees working for me, and still have $100,000 in my account that I could draw from to take each year until 59.5 to bridge that gap, if you will, for the 4.5 to 5 years that's necessary. So, is that the right answer? It's going to depend on your individual situation. It's going to depend on your age. It's going to depend on whether or not you need the money. If you don't need the money, until 59 and a half, then maybe you roll it over, you save the money on the fees, and you let it grow until you're 60 or older, and then you make more money on it. There's no right answer. But the things to remember is you can roll it from one 457 to another. You can roll it to a 403B or a 401k as long as the plan you're rolling into allows it. And remember, the beauty of the 457 is upon separation from your employment, you can take the money out penalty free. All right, I hope you guys got something out of this. If you like the subject matter, give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want further information, check out my website, firefightersfinancialtoolbox.com, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks.